Leeds United might be on the edge of securing an exciting signing, and fans are starting to feel that buzz again. The name? Noah OKAFOR, the winger, currently at AC Milan, has had stints across Europe, including Napoli, but originally made a name for himself through the Red Bull development system, likely at Red Bull Salzburg. But hold on, while that's a promising addition that deserves its own spotlight, this story isn't just about Okafor. There's a deeper situation brewing behind the scenes, and it has everything to do with Leeds United's fullback options, or better yet, the lack of them. Right now, the fullback situation at Leeds is shaky. The current options are Sam Byram and young Archie Gray stepping into unfamiliar territory at times. Byram, to his credit, has held his own. He brings experience, grit, and a solid understanding of the game. But there's still an air of uncertainty about whether he can maintain consistency at a Premier League level week in and week out, especially when the tempo rises and the pressure starts mounting. Schmidt, on the other hand, looks like he could be on his way out, and let's leave it there without diving into harsh criticisms. So, naturally, Leeds started looking for reinforcement, and the name that popped up with serious intent was James Justin, a versatile, quick, and intelligent fullback who's shown quality at Leicester City. Justin seemed like a realistic and useful target. Everything pointed towards a deal being in motion. There was a real sense of progression, rumors of talks, discussions about a fee in the range of £7 to £9 million, and the idea of a 3 or 4 year contract. And importantly, Justin wouldn't be coming in with the pressure of immediately replacing anyone. He'd be a backup, a strong one, but the door would be open for him to earn a starting role based on performances. That kind of internal competition is healthy and absolutely necessary at this level. But then, silence. That's where things get complicated. James Justin, while playing for Leicester in their most recent match, picked up an injury. A heavy challenge forced him off the pitch in the 70-something minute. And just like that, the momentum behind the potential transfer came to a grinding halt. Since then, there's been nothing but rumors, assumptions, and speculation. No official word from Leicester, no concrete diagnosis, and absolutely no updates from Leeds. The popular theory flying around is that it might just be a dead leg. And if that's the case, fine. It's not a big deal. Players bounce back from that in a week, maybe 2. But that's exactly why the silence feels so strange. If it's truly just a minor knock, why hasn't anyone stepped forward to say, no worries, he'll be fine? The transfer's still on track. Instead, there's a total vacuum of information. And when there's silence in football, especially around potential signings, it often means someone's waiting for medical clarity or bracing for bad news. Leicester might have unintentionally sabotaged their own deal here. Playing a player that close to a transfer is always a risk. And in this case, that risk might have cost them the move entirely. You look at situations like Rafael Leao's recent injury for Milan. When he went down, it wasn't Okafor who came on. It was someone else. Why? Because Milan knew they might be losing Okafor in the transfer window, and risking him in a high-tempo game wasn't worth it. That's good squad management. Leicester clearly missed that memo, and now Leeds are left waiting. But this isn't just about waiting. Leeds need a fullback now. They're reportedly exploring other targets behind the scenes, just in case Justin's injury turns out to be more serious than expected. One of the names floating around is Anthony Kachi. Now, Kachi's an interesting one. Technically gifted, strong in the tackle, and capable of playing on both flanks. That versatility is gold in a system like Leeds's, where fullbacks play a crucial role, not just defensively, but in building up the attack. However, there's a problem. Kachi is also being looked at by clubs like Fulham and Everton. So Leeds' interest, while real, might be more of a backup plan rather than a frontrunner position. But what's key here is not just the names being scouted. It's the type of player Leeds are after. And that tells us everything about how the club is thinking going into the season. See, in the current system, fullbacks are absolutely vital. They're not just hugging the touchline or offering occasional overlaps. They're stretching the pitch, providing width, and often serving as an outlet when the midfield gets crowded. In a recent game against Everton, for instance, Jmun Son stood out, not for flashy dribbling or scoring, but because of how effectively he worked in tandem with the midfield, creating passing triangles, offering options, and helping the team reset when needed. On the opposite side, Bogle was doing something similar, overlapping, underlapping, constantly dragging defenders and creating space for others. This is what modern fullbacks are asked to do. They're not passengers. They're dynamic contributors to every phase of play. And that's why Leeds can't afford to get this signing wrong. A stopgap isn't going to cut it. They need someone with energy, tactical awareness, and the physical ability to handle both ends of the pitch. Byram, while useful, doesn't offer that same level of dynamism. And if you lose Bogle or Jmunson to injury, which, let's be honest, happens often in long campaigns, Leeds would be stuck. That's why this search has to go beyond just plugging a gap. Ideally, Leeds want someone who can cover both sides of the pitch. A left back would be preferable. Byram is more comfortable on the right, after all, but flexibility is key. Injuries and suspensions are part of the game. You need players who can adapt. That's what made someone like Stuart Dallas so valuable back in the day. He could fill in at left back, right back, central midfield, even on the wing. He might not have been world-class in any one role, but his ability to step in and do a job anywhere was priceless. You don't build a season around players like that, but you win games because of them. That's why James Justin, if fit, still makes so much sense. He's capable on both flanks, has Premier League experience, and plays with a maturity beyond his age. The concern now is whether he's fit enough to be useful soon. If his recovery stretches beyond a couple of weeks, especially past the international break, it might not make sense to keep waiting. Leeds would have to cast a wider net, explore the market properly, and hope they don't miss out on someone better in the meantime. Of course, none of this can move forward without clarity. A medical would have to be incredibly thorough if Justin is still the target. Every ligament, every strain, every knock would need to be checked and double-checked. Leeds can't afford another injury-prone player sitting on the bench collecting wages. They need someone available and ready to contribute, ideally now. But the frustrating part of all this is the uncertainty. Fans are in the dark. The club seems in limbo. And while there are whispers of interest in other fullbacks, nothing has accelerated. It all hinges on what's going on with James Justin behind closed doors. That's the bottleneck right now. In the meantime, the squad is managing. The pieces are being held together, but it feels like one more injury could really stretch things thin. And as the season ramps up, the games get tougher, the intensity rises, and you need depth. Not just in quantity, but in quality. Leeds have to act. Either finalize the Justin deal or pivot quickly to another realistic option. Because if there's one thing history's shown, it's that waiting too long can be the difference between a top-half finish and another relegation battle. So where does that leave Leeds United now? Stuck somewhere between planning and reacting. It's that dangerous gray area in the transfer market where every minute you wait for clarity on one deal could be a minute wasted in chasing another. And while the James Justin situation still hasn't been fully resolved, the reality is the club can't allow itself to sit still. There's too much at stake. The season is already underway, and if Leeds want to make a serious push for promotion or at the very least avoid another chaotic run like last year, they've got to be proactive. That means having backup plans to the backup plans. And more importantly, it means identifying players who not only fit the tactical mold, but are also attainable without unnecessary complications. That's why the discussion around Anthony Kachi is so interesting. He's not just a filler name tossed into the rumor mill. There's genuine logic behind that potential move. His versatility, being able to cover both flanks with relative comfort, puts him right in the sweet spot of what Leeds need. But the issue, again, is competition. Fulham and Everton are circling too, both with Premier League security to offer and potentially higher wages. And unless Leeds move decisively, there's a risk of missing out. It raises the bigger question of recruitment strategy at the club. For the last few years, Leeds have danced on the edge of brilliant scouting and last-minute scrambles. There's been no shortage of potential. The club has brought in players with serious promise. But not every deal has panned out, and not every signing has been made with the proper balance of tactical need and injury history in mind. This time, They can't afford to get caught short, especially in such a crucial position like fullback. The modern game demands more from fullbacks than ever before. Gone are the days when a right back could get by with just a decent tackle and a big clearance. Now, they need to be press resistant, capable of joining the midfield when needed, smart in their positioning, and relentless in their running. Leeds' system leans heavily on those roles. Whether it's overlapping to create space for wingers or dropping inside to form a back three in possession, fullbacks are deeply woven into the tactical fabric of the side. And when you only have one reliable option per side, or worse, when your backup is really just an improvised fit, that system falls apart quickly under pressure. That's what makes the silence around Justin even more frustrating. Because from a footballing perspective, he ticks almost every box. His recovery pace, his ability to transition play, his comfort on both feet, it's exactly what Leeds are missing. But none of that matters if he's sitting in the treatment room. And it's that looming fear of repeating past mistakes that's forcing the club to look elsewhere. You look around the league, and you can already see examples of clubs who left themselves short in one or two positions and are now scrambling to fix things mid-season. Leeds cannot be one of those clubs. If Justin's injury is more serious than first thought, and let's be honest, it probably is, or we'd have heard something by now, then the club needs to move. Not just monitor, not just scout. Move. Make contact, send the medical team, sort the finances, and get the deal done. Because otherwise, it's going to be the same cycle again. Scrambling for loan deals in January or praying that youth players can step up in moments of crisis. And while the academy has delivered some gems, relying on them too heavily is risky. Premier League football, or even the grind of a championship campaign, isn't kind to young fullbacks thrown into the deep end. They need time. They need smart rotations around them. They need veterans to learn from. That's why bringing in someone like Justin or Kachi isn't just about covering a weakness. It's about building a stronger overall structure where youth players can develop without being overexposed. There's also a mental aspect to consider here. For a team trying to rebuild momentum, trying to reestablish itself as a top-flight regular, depth breeds confidence. When players know the guy next to them is solid, that they won't be left exposed if someone picks up a knock, it changes the whole mentality of the squad. It raises standards in training. It builds healthy competition. And it gives the coaching staff options, different looks for different opponents, different combinations depending on form or fitness. Right now, that's not something Leeds can claim in the fullback area. It's paper thin, and every day that goes by without a solution increases the risk. There's no guarantee that Byram stays fit. There's no certainty that Schmidt doesn't leave. And there's absolutely no safety net if both of those things happen. It becomes a domino effect. Lose one key player, shift someone out of position to cover, disrupt the midfield balance, and suddenly your whole game plan falls apart. That's why this isn't just a James Justin conversation. It's a Leeds United conversation, a broader reflection of where the club is and where it wants to go. If the ambition is to be back in the Premier League and stay there, then this type of situation needs to be handled with more clarity, more decisiveness, and frankly, more transparency. Fans deserve to know what's happening. Are we moving on from Justin? Are we waiting? Are we actually pursuing other names or just floating interest to keep options open? Because here's the reality. Other clubs are not waiting around. Fulham is building. Everton is always in the market. Even clubs abroad are moving quickly to secure versatile defenders. Leeds cannot be the club that sits back hoping things fall into place. They need to be the club that sets the pace, that identifies a need, makes the call, and backs their choice. Whether it's Justin, Kachi, or another name entirely, what matters now is momentum. Show the squad and the fan base that the club is serious about fixing holes before they become disasters. And let's not forget what happened last season. Injuries piled up, confidence wavered, systems broke down, and a promising campaign fell into chaos because the depth just wasn't there. This time, the warning signs are clear. They're right in front of us. Byram playing out of position, a lack of cover, constant tinkering with the back line. It's not sustainable, especially not over a full campaign with cup fixtures and possible promotion pressure on top. The coaching staff know it. The players definitely feel it. And the fans? They're watching closely, hoping the board makes the right move this time. Because Leeds United is a club with big expectations, not just from the supporters, but from the culture that's been built over decades. It's a team that should be fighting for top-flight football, not just clinging to survival in the second tier. That starts with proper recruitment, with smart, timely decisions, and with the understanding that every position matters. So if Justin can recover, great. Bring him in. But if there's even the slightest risk of this, dragging on too long, cut your losses and pivot. Someone else out there is waiting to be signed. And every day wasted is another training session without a fullback learning the system, another friendly without chemistry being built, another week closer to fixture congestion with no rotation available. Leeds have a solid base. The spine of the team is taking shape. There's attacking talent, midfield energy, and even some promising defensive structure when everyone's healthy. But no system can survive without the wings, and that's what fullbacks are. They're not extras. They're not luxury pieces. They're fundamental to the way this team wants to play. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on Leeds United. And make sure to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Noah OKAFOR, the Swiss winger who has been a rising star at AC Milan, is reportedly on the verge of making a high-profile move to Leeds United, sending shockwaves through the footballing world and sparking intense speculation across Europe. Sources close to the player suggest that OKAFOR has been weighing his options for weeks, amid persistent rumors linking him with several Premier League clubs. While AC Milan has been reluctant to part with the 25-year-old talent who has consistently impressed in Serie A, Leeds United appears determined to bolster their attacking options ahead of the new season. The transfer, if it goes through, could mark a significant turning point in OKAFOR's career, offering him the chance to test himself in one of the most competitive leagues in the world, while also giving Leeds United a player with the potential to elevate their performances on the pitch. Fans and pundits alike are buzzing with speculation about the financial details of the deal, with some insiders hinting at a considerable transfer fee that would reflect OKAFOR's rising stock in European football. The timing of the move, coming just as preseason preparations are ramping up, adds another layer of intrigue to the unfolding story, prompting heated debates across social media platforms and football forums, where supporters of both clubs are passionately weighing in on the potential impact of the transfer. According to unconfirmed reports circulating within Italian and English media outlets, OKAFOR's departure from AC Milan could leave a significant gap in the Rossoneri's attacking lineup, raising questions about how the club intends to replace a player of his quality. Analysts suggest that Milan may need to accelerate plans to recruit a comparable winger or consider adjusting their tactical approach to compensate for the loss. Meanwhile, Leeds United appears to be on a mission to strengthen their squad depth and attacking versatility, with OKAFOR seen as an ideal fit for manager Jesse Marsch's high-energy, pressing style. The Swiss international, who has previously impressed in both domestic and European competitions, is rumored to have expressed excitement about the prospect of joining the Premier League, where his pace, dribbling ability, and eye for goal could make an immediate impact. Speculation about the negotiation process has also been rampant, with insiders suggesting that personal terms have been agreed upon swiftly, though final confirmation from both clubs is still awaited. The possibility of OKAFOR thriving in a new environment has football commentators predicting a dramatic shift in Leeds' attacking dynamics, potentially elevating them from mid-table competitors to a more formidable force in the league. This rumor has captured the imagination of fans who are eagerly imagining the Swiss star weaving his way past defenders at Elland Road. The narrative surrounding Noah OKAFOR's potential transfer to Leeds has been fueled by tantalizing glimpses of behind-the-scenes developments, including reports that he has already begun making preparations to relocate to England. Though no official statement has been released, speculation continues to mount, with pundits highlighting the strategic implications for both AC Milan and Leeds United. For Milan, losing a player who has seamlessly integrated into their attacking schemes represents a significant challenge, prompting discussions about internal promotions or urgent recruitment efforts during the transfer window. For Leeds, acquiring OKAFOR could be a coup that injects creativity and unpredictability into their forward line, a much-needed boost for a team seeking consistency in a league renowned for its intensity and pace. The rumor mill has also focused on the financial and contractual aspects of the deal, suggesting that the move could involve intricate negotiations, performance-based clauses, and potential sell-on benefits, making it one of the more complex transfers in recent Leeds history. Fans have reacted with a mix of anticipation and skepticism, debating whether OKAFOR will adapt quickly to the physicality of the Premier League or whether his talents might be best suited to Serie A. Meanwhile, social media platforms are abuzz with speculation, with fans sharing mock-ups of Leeds kits with OKAFOR's name and number, further intensifying the sense of anticipation surrounding this story, which has quickly become one of the hottest topics in European football gossip. Football insiders hint that the move, if completed, could also have ripple effects across the transfer market, influencing player valuations and prompting rival clubs to reassess their strategies. OKAFOR's potential transition to the Premier League might signal a growing trend of mid-tier English clubs aggressively targeting rising talents from top European leagues, leveraging financial incentives and the promise of competitive exposure. At AC Milan, the rumor has sparked a wave of speculation about who might step into the void left by the Swiss international, with fans theorizing about potential signings, academy promotions, or tactical reshuffles. Meanwhile, Leeds United supporters have been energized by the prospect, envisioning a squad capable of challenging established Premier League sides with newfound attacking verve. Analysts emphasize that OKAFOR's technical skills, combined with his tactical intelligence and work ethic, could complement Leeds' existing roster, potentially transforming their offensive strategies. The story has generated endless discussion points, ranging from OKAFOR's personal motivations and career trajectory to the broader financial and competitive implications for both clubs, all while fueling a palpable sense of excitement among football communities in Italy, England, and beyond. Pundits continue to debate whether this potential transfer represents a calculated gamble by Leeds or a long-term strategic investment in talent capable of reshaping their fortunes. As the rumor continues to gain traction, speculation intensifies around the timing and formal announcement of OKAFOR's prospective move, with journalists and fans eagerly awaiting confirmation that could validate weeks of swirling conjecture. The Premier League, known for its high-stakes drama and intense scrutiny, would provide a stage for OKAFOR to showcase his skills on an unprecedented scale, testing his adaptability and resilience against some of the toughest defenders in world football. Observers note that this move could redefine perceptions of his career trajectory, potentially elevating him into a more prominent international spotlight and attracting attention from larger clubs in the future. Meanwhile, AC Milan faces the delicate task of managing fan expectations while pursuing alternative options in the transfer market, ensuring the squad remains competitive both domestically and in European competitions. For Leeds United, the narrative surrounding OKAFOR has already invigorated supporters and generated excitement about the upcoming season, offering a glimpse of a more dynamic and versatile attacking lineup. Until official confirmation emerges, the rumor continues to dominate conversations, media coverage, and social discourse, fueling speculation about the immediate and long-term consequences for all parties involved. The suspense surrounding Noah Okafor's potential journey from Milan to Leeds remains one of the most compelling storylines in contemporary football, blending ambition, strategy, and intrigue into a saga that captivates fans across the continent. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep getting exclusive news about Leeds United, be sure to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to reading your comments and opinions. See you in the next video, Leeds fans.